Hey Nakama, this is Gomu Gomu. It's me. My name is Alden or Alden, and today there is no episode review because it's a recap slash filler. So we don't really want to go over the same things we've been going over. So today we're gonna get into theory Thursdays, I guess you could call them, but I'm doing it on a Monday because there's a filler. So this is where I'm gonna be doing theories on either the anime or the manga. Right now we're gonna do the anime slash the manga, but I'm not gonna really mention any manga points just to give people the heads up, so that way if they tune into the next one, they know I might drop some spoilers here or there. So what I want to talk about today is the Cross Guild and what it could mean for the government, pirates, the citizens, the Revolutionary Army. Let's get into this. So what the Cross Guild means, right? What it is to its basis, basic core is it's basically pirates that have turned the marine, I guess, way into a business. So the Marines, they have their way with the bounties and shit like that. I mean, Zoro was a bounty hunter at one point, so we know the system quite well, right? So what the Cross Guild has done is turned the Marines into the targets, right? And we've all seen, the bits and pieces what they've talked about. But what I want to talk about today is the actual impact that this could have on the rest of the world, right? So we've obviously all seen, crocodile, mihawk, and buggy, but it's much deeper than that because when you think about it, the people who go after the bounties for the Marines are not necessarily, Marines. Zoro was just a random, not random, but he was just a guy. He wasn't like a Marine. He wasn't a pirate at that point. He was just Zoro. So what this could attract for the Cross Guild is maybe Marines are going after the quote unquote dirty Marines. Maybe citizens start to take up arms, as we've seen. Maybe the Revolutionary Army, people kind of branch off, even though the Revolutionary Army has their own path, their own way that they want to go, right? So I don't think Sabo is going to be collecting any bounties, but just certain people are going to start going after Marines, trying to collect bounties. So that's something to not look forward to, but just look out for rather. Not that I'm saying that any Marines deserve like leniency, except the ones like Garp, Kobe, Helmeppo, even though he was a little shit in the beginning. But there are Marine like Fujitora, like he believes in justice. It's just he might be a little bit misguided because he even talks about Luffy and how much wishes he didn't blind himself, which we do got to find out why he did that and how he did that, so that way we can kind of get a better understanding. But there are Marines who are good at the core, but it's just with all the negative press around the Marines, we see it. Because at the end of the day, when you break down One Piece, when you break down the pirates, when you break down all that stuff, at the end of at the end of the day, pirates are breaking the law. Now, we have been kind of spoiled and kind of twisted in a way where when we think of pirates and in One Piece anyway, we think Luffy, right? We're like, dude, Luffy's not a criminal. He just beats up bad guys and eats people's food and sails away. But when you think about the actual pirates, the crocodiles, the Buggy the Clowns, the Alvitas, the everybody you can list, Marshall D. Teach, Blackbeard. I can even look at my wall right now. You can think of Doflamingo, who is obviously a formal sexual whatever. You could also think of Big Mom. Like I'm looking because there's just so many I can name right now that we have been spoiled by the Straw Hats into thinking, oh, pirates not even a bad thing. They just want to be free. No, 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 no. The Straw Hats just want to be free. Shanks has probably even done some real dirty shit. Now, Shanks, I'm gonna have a whole theory episode about him and where he comes from. I mean, obviously in the manga, if you're keeping up with the manga, you've seen a couple tidbits here and there. But, anyways, back to the Cross Guild, right? So, what it could mean for the world government, right? If you get a couple people, it might not be one or two, or maybe three, four, five that can take down. I'm not gonna say an admiral because that's a little far fetched, but if you could start taking down some lieutenants, maybe even some vice admirals, maybe like well before them like cat like stuff like that. Like if you can start knocking off some of they're still powerful, they're just not on the level of admiral. If you can start taking out some of those from the ranks, it kind of starts to mess with the numbers of the Marines. Like the Marines they outnumber everybody, but they don't outclass everybody. I have my own theory of the Marines and like how well they would do against each Emperor's crew. If we're putting, and honestly, if we're putting Mihawk and Crocodile in Buggy's crew, it might be, my answer might reflect a different aspect than you think. But anyways, off that. So if you cut down the Marines, numbers, people start to revolt because we've seen in multiple times that the Marines were bad. The Marines were evil. The Marines were basically the mafia. They were collecting their check and they were scooting the fuck on, and the citizens were left in turmoil, right? So if you put enough money, enough people will start to revolt, collect the money from the Marine capture or whatever the case may be, and then they'll like start to feel like they can be self-sufficient, which they can. Marines they're supposed to be to serve and protect, but if they're over here, being dirty, then why you don't need them. So, citizens are going to start turning on the Marines because it's kind of like, I'm not going to say sheep mentality, but it's kind of like, I've seen a bad Marine, I've heard about bad Marines, so you must be in turn a bad Marine, right? So citizens are going to start attacking lesser pirates that are still pretty strong, because we all, like, whenever we think about pirates, we think like, oh, if you're not Kid, Law, Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, Killer, I'm not gonna say Beppo, but like if you're not like the upper echelon, like even some of the supernovas, then you don't count as a pirate. When all actuality, there's a lot of strong pirates out there that aren't just as strong as them. Like there's the whole Dressrosa arc. Like, do people forget that those pirates are actually really powerful? It's just they're not as powerful as the Doflamingos, the Luffys, the Laws. So if they start to band together, not them per se, because a lot of them joined Luffy's crew. I mean, even though Bartolomeo was doing his own thing, but if they start to like stand up, it's gonna be hell to pay for the Marines. So the only people the Marines have to blame right now are the Marines, because if they never disbanded the Seven Warlord system, they would still have these powerful pirates on their side in a sense. Now I can understand why they did it, because obviously the pirates were reaping a lot of benefits that they necessarily shouldn't have been getting. Like Doflamingo was able to take over a whole country. Crocodile was able to take over a whole country. Like there was a lot of messed up stuff going on. Now, I mean, there was other marine warlords that were just doing their own thing. Like Mihawk had his little, vampire castle. Boa Hancock didn't want any men in her like country except Luffy and Ray Lee. And then I mean, Gecko Moria was doing some fuck shit. Yeah, Jinbei was in jail, but like before then, he was just looking out for his fishmen. So I mean, the only people the Marines have to blame for the Cross Guild is the Marines. So what this could mean for the whole of One Piece is we're gonna start to see a lot more Marines going to war against pirates. Now, what that means is there's gonna be less stability in countries. So the Revolutionary Army is gonna, they're gonna, if this was like one of those world domination type games, the Revolutionary Army is gonna spread its sea wherever it can. So when you got the Flame Emperor, you got Dragon, you got all these lovable people like Koala and the rest, people are gonna start falling in line with the Revolutionary Army, and their agenda is gonna be able to be pushed further than it would have been if this shit didn't happen. Now, whether that's a good thing is yet to be seen. We don't know what Dragon's true intentions are. We know manga readers know a little bit about it, but the anime watchers, y'all have no idea. We have no idea. I'm gonna put myself with y'all as well. But yeah, so that's what the Cross Guild starting means, is that pirates are gonna be more inclined to go after Marines. The Revolutionary Army's agenda is gonna be able to spread massively. The world government's going to be forced to retreat from certain territories, and there's going to have to be a stronghold of focus, and more admirals are going to probably have to come out more than they were. Like a lot of the admirals, I'm not going to say were lazy, but like they only came out for massive threats. So what this means is it's going to be a shakeup of the whole system. I understand that some people might say, oh, well, nothing's really happened yet. Yeah, until they take out that first like big name, big name Marine, like I'm not gonna say they're gonna take out Garp, but if they were to take out somebody like a Garp, I'm not gonna say they're gonna take out. I say I'm not gonna say a lot, but if they were gonna take out like an admiral or a vice admiral with a name, the whole game will shake up. But for right now, it's just the lower level guys. Now, another thing this means is when we get to the final war that they say, the only people from the world government that's going to be left, in my opinion, anyway, my opinion, is going to be Garp. It's going to be Garp. It's going to be Fleet Admiral Akainu, Kizaru. I don't think Green Bull's going to last because he's going to try that shit that he tried on Wano with the wrong one, and he's going to catch the right one. And then Fujitora going to make it. But I honestly, like, and this is a lot of speculation, but I honestly feel like at one point he's going to side with Luffy. I'm not going to sit there and say he's going to attack, Akainu. He's going to attack Kizaru. But at one point he's going to side with them and help him in a way like he did before. So, but yeah, so with the Cross Guild being up, that means less Marines are going to be able to help in the Great War, right? And more pirates are going to be inclined to join sides with one of the emperors, knowing that the Marines aren't going to have the numbers to touch him. So that's what I feel. If I'm wrong, or if you would like me to expand, if you would like me to explain anything, write down in the comments below. But that comes to the end of the video. This was Monday/Thursday theories. So please like, share, and subscribe. Be safe and well in your travels. Enjoy the journey, and just know I will be the king of YouTube. Peace.